So this is how it goes. You need to start with the message. You need to have a message to the world. And until you have it clear, it will be very hard for you. It will be impossible for you to become an expert. I'm not saying that you cannot have a business. I'm not saying that you cannot make money. I'm just saying that you will never become an expert unless you have a message that you're attached to, that this is you, this is who you are. Now, when you have the message, you need to find those people that this message will resonate the most with them. Okay, will resonate the most. My preference is that work with those people that you really like to work and that can actually benefit from that message. So it's a kind of a combination from those two audiences that we just talked. But now that you have that, you need to find out how to take this message, call it expertise if you want, how do you package it into something that you can deliver? So what are the solutions that you offer? Different people need your expertise in different ways. And most of you, many of you, I don't know most of you, but many of you got stuck in one delivery method or in one solution. Oh, I'm a coach. That's what I do. Or I'm a graphic designer. That's what I do. Or I'm a trainer. That's what I do. Okay, there are different ways to do that. And many people just got hooked on one of those and keep on delivering this way, which might be okay, but an expert is somebody that usually can deliver and will deliver more solutions so you can touch more people. So give me some examples of different packages for an expertise. Just throw them out. A workshop, absolutely. Just write it down if that fits you, but a workshop, absolutely. What else? A book, absolutely, a book. What did you say? No, I know that you didn't say. A website. Maybe a website. Okay, what else? A blog, maybe, yes. We're looking for, by the way, for things that people will actually pay for. And for website and blog, they usually won't pay. But workshop, yes. Trainings, a book, what? Advice, absolutely, advice. Suddenly nobody says coaching sessions. That's okay. A coaching session is a package. How many of you coaches? Okay, so coaching session is absolutely one way to package it. What else? Membership site, what? A show? Absolutely, a show can be. Seminar, absolutely a seminar. Webinars, products. Guys, products like CDs, DVDs. Course, absolutely, e-course or a course. Absolutely, so you understand what it is. So there are different products, services, different programs, ways that you can package your expertise. You might think, no, my expertise cannot be delivered in one of those. I would like to challenge you to be a little bit more creative. Okay? I'm not saying that everything can be packaged in every way, but I'm sure that it can be packaged in more ways that you're willing to consider. I'm not going to spend now time on that because we're having a part for that later. So just know that those are the solutions and you need to look for different solutions. What you need to know, to remember when it comes to a solution is what's the purpose? What's the purpose of your product or service or coaching session or program or whatever? There is only one purpose. And most of us don't think about it. And when you don't know what the purpose of what you're doing, then you usually will have a hard time to deliver that. The only purpose of your solution, if it's a product or service or whatever it is to take people from where they are to where they want to be. Not where they need to be, in your opinion, but where they want to be. I'm overweight. What I want to be is light and athletic and healthy and whatever it is. How do you take them? That's your product or service. Okay? We have people that are ZZ payers and they are struggling right now, and what they want to is they want to make more money, have more free time, make more impact in the world. There are two places, which means that there is one place is where their problem, if you want, where their problem doesn't have to be a problem, but let's say the current situation, in many times, it looks like a problem. And then there is here the solution or the end result where they want to be. And your product or service is this is the bridge. Okay, you or your product or service or your expertise is the bridge between them. And you tell them, I will show you and I will help you get from here to here. That's all. It can be delivered in many, many, many different ways, not just in the only way that you figured out so far. Is that making sense? Guys, is that making sense? Yes. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it today, so I'm not going to spend more time on that. I want to move to the last one, which is the promotions. Okay? This is the last part. So only after you have packaged your expertise this way or another, you have a solution. Now you need to find a way to communicate it to them so they actually buy it. So that's the last phase. That's the promotion. Now, we spend the Master Entrepreneurs 3 days of marketing, so I cannot squeeze all that, but I want to just give you, again, 2 questions to ask yourself. The promotion depends a little bit of, how you want to be. Do you want to be a local expert? Local mean in your neighborhood or in your city, right? Or do you want to be a national expert? You want to be the expert in Holland for whatever it is that you're doing. Or do you want to become an international expert? Okay, to be known as one of the internet or as a international expert. And you need to define that in advance because your promotions will be different. Would you agree? Actually, most of the time your delivery will also be different. People in the beginning used to confront me, why don't you give those trainings in Dutch? Okay, the easiest way to answer them was to say, I don't know Dutch. I can speak a little bit, but if I will give it in Dutch, you will say that I was cute at the end. I got that feedback before, since then I don't do that. But that's not the real reason. The real reason is because I don't want to become the expert in Holland. It's not interesting. Okay, it's what I do today, but I want to have my expertise international. So there's no point for me to do that in Dutch. So if you're thinking of doing something international, then stop speaking Dutch. It's not very international, you understand that, right? So this is a little bit in the solution or the delivery, but in the promotion, that's really, really important. Because in order to become the yoga teacher in Harlem, there's a very different promotion, there's a very different marketing than to become the yoga teacher of the Netherlands. And it's very different than become the yoga teacher or the yoga expert in the world. Would you agree? So it's just a matter of decision where you want to be. And you can also decide, well, first I'm going to become the top in Harlem, and then I want the top in Holland, and then the top in the world. But I usually would say it's the other way around. You first decide where you want to go, and then you break it down. Okay, that's what I need to do first. Because if you focus on the Harlem market, it will be very hard from that to become the national expert and then the international. But if you decided in advance, I'm going internationally, but what I need to do now is those steps, then you'll build it differently. Does that make sense? A little bit like we did that. Funny thing is that when we started Open Circles, our first website was, the tagline of Open Circles was International Center for Leadership Education, I think, something like that. The word international was there. We had no international student ever at that time, okay? But that was what we put, International Center for Leadership Education. Okay, that was the international was important for us. It was the first word in what we put, because already then I knew that that's where we're going. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's a choice. It requires different strategies when it comes to promotion. Now, the other thing you want to ask yourself, and that belongs to the solution, what would you do? Are you going to speak? Are you going to train people? Are you going to coach people? Are you going to write? Are you going to consult people? Are you going to do all of them? Are you going to do some of them? Because it's a different promotion. It's not the same promotion for a book than it is for a training. It's not the same promotion for you as an expert, as an author, than if you are the trainer or the coach. I know somebody that his name is Brian Barrow, and he claimed the title, the Breakthrough Coach of America. Okay? Or America's Breakthrough Coach. Okay, and that's what he does for the last 30 years. And he came to him, this word coach, because he was a swimming coach. In one of the universities, he was a coach for swimmers. That's what he did. And he claimed that title, and for many, many years he did that, and he was working with Tony Robbins and all the other names on the breakthrough area, on the area of breakthrough. Although what he gives, in most cases, is trainings. Okay, so you want to claim the right title, and that will be part of your promotion. So, again, we cannot go too much into that because you're not ready yet, so there's no point for me to give you a strategy before you know where you are. But those 2 questions directly relate to your lifestyle, right? When I claimed that I want to be an international center, at that time I thought we're going to travel around, like most of the public speakers. Most of the public speakers in that period, or still today, they're traveling all over. That's what I don't know if they like it, but that's what they do. That's how they make the money. They just go from one place to another. I didn't want to do that, and at one point, this international part, they need to come to me. We're going to make Nieuwegein an international center. But it's true, because now we have about 10% of our students are coming from abroad. And it can grow more if we will start promoting it in other places. Does that make sense?
you.